The flight from Baton Rouge to DC is in jeopardy. We'll talk about some great things in North Baton Rouge. Miss 40 Under 40 is here, and it's gumbo time. Roll it, Kyle. You know, Scott's been doing that MC Hammer dance across the studio since he found out there's going to be some gumbo in here today. We'll try to keep that off camera for you a little bit. But we begin tonight talking about the flight from Washington, D.C. to Baton Rouge and vice versa. And Mike Edwards is here. And Mike and I sat on a panel in D.C. maybe, 6-8 weeks ago?
Yeah, that's right.
Talking about that flight. So it's been 7 years in the making, and we'll get to it in just a little bit. But let's talk a little bit about BTR, especially for business travelers who are moving in and out of the capital region. Make the pitch as to why people should fly BTR.
Absolutely. And first of all, thanks for having me on the show. Really glad to be here. But you know, when it comes to convenience, there's no second to Baton Rouge. You know, with terminal front parking, no long drives to other airports. You know, speaking of parking, you know, it's half the price, so you're saving money right there. But your time, you know, less time on the road, more time getting where, or less time getting where you're going.
Right.
You know, we're served by three of the largest carriers in the world: American, Delta, and United,
right.
With connections to some of the largest hubs in the world: Atlanta, world's largest airport; DFW, 10th largest in the world; Houston; Charlotte, and then of course DCA. So we have daily flights to all of those with single connection service worldwide with those networks of each of those carriers. So it's really a smart choice for business travelers and also leisure travelers alike. You know, coming out of COVID, we've seen a big increase in leisure travelers using BTR, which wasn't always the case in the past. So we're working hard to deliver additional service. It's something, air service, that we work on every day. But you know, a lot of people don't know that BTR is the second largest airport in Louisiana and the Upper Gulf region in terms of passenger enplanements.
Really?
It is. And that's with being only 70 miles from the largest airport, the Upper Gulf region. So we're doing well, but there's a lot of room to improve in terms of capturing additional passengers who might be using other airports. So that's where we're working on our customer experience. We've got some major projects going on in the terminal in terms of development. You know, next in January, we'll begin all new jet bridges for the terminal.
Okay.
And then we have a terminal modernization project right now where we're going to be adding all new ticket counters, both for the airlines and rental cars, all new seating, all new carpet, some architectural lighting improvements, and other things that are really going to, it's going to give the airport a whole new look and feel.
I like that, man, and then glad to hear all of that. So I've flown every direct destination out of BTR with the exception of DC so far, and because we do Dallas, Houston, Atlanta, Charlotte. Oh, I haven't done Charlotte. And so I've done most of them out here. Anytime I go to Houston or Dallas or Atlanta, I'm trying to go out here because it's quick. It's about less than an hour flight, and I've done the Atlanta one a couple times this year. So the convenience is there. Let's talk about this BTR DCA flight. 7 years to get this thing in place here for travelers coming from Baton Rouge to the nation's capital. And then recently, there was an article that talked about how we are in jeopardy of losing that slot. Explain why we are in jeopardy.
Yeah, so we've been working, both the airport and the community, on securing this service, like you said, for the last 7 years. Numerous meetings with American, campaigns regarding letters of support. You know, both the airport and the Baton Rouge Area Chamber have conducted numerous surveys over the year, and consistently DCA was the #1 requested route by the community. And also the data that we have seen in our studies supported the same case, both when you looked at passengers in the Baton Rouge area who were flying Baton Rouge and connecting to DC, or we're going to another airport. They lived in Baton Rouge, they're going to another airport, and we're going to DC. It was the #1 city without that nonstop connection. So Over the years, we made the case. We secured incentive funds to help support that case. And in June of this year, on June 1st, American launched daily nonstop service to DCA. So initially, the flight performed well. In June, we had a 74% load factor, but we saw it backslide. And going into August with the congressional recess, it dropped as low as 48%, which is a major concern because this is the most connective route domestically in any airline's network, most competitive route, I should say. So
because every state has to connect with that city.
Yeah, absolutely. And being slot controlled, it means that each airline is allocated only so many takeoffs and landings each day. So we're competing with other cities for this route. So there's always a short list of other cities. We were, on the list, and then we moved up to the short list. But now that we have the service that we fought so hard for, that the community fought so hard for, we want to make sure we keep it. So we just need more people to commit to using the route. We've rolled out a pledge campaign.
Yeah, I got a minute. I want you to talk about that pledge campaign.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So it's flybtr2dc.com, flybtr2dc.com, and you can go on the website. There's a use case for why this service is so important to our community in terms of future economic development, future air service development. And then you can sign on and commit to taking the pledge. We'll place your logo on the website, and you can show you support your local airport.
I want you to come back before the end of the year to talk more about what's happening at BTR.
That would be great. I'd love to.
Appreciate you,
Thanks,
Mike.
Clay.
All right, Miss 40 Under 40 is in the building. I think she's got a crown on, and we'll talk with her about the experience of winning that great award and the things that led up to that great designation. Back with that in just a moment.